Hey guys, Anthony here with WeBackTesla, and it's been a while. I've got some things I got to get off my chest. Like today started off kind of bad because I know that I don't know if you guys are going to be very happy with me about what I'm about to say in this video, and it just started off bad. You know, I was taking my anger out on someone. Just 5 seconds, let me explain. All right, so real quick, I feel really bad. This guy right here, his name's Professor. Today I called him fat, and I feel really bad because like I'm just in a bad mood, and I gotta get some things off my chest, and I think it's just because I'm getting fat that I called him fat, and now he's just sitting out here looking at the road. I don't know what he's thinking. So I think it's time that I come clean to you guys. I've been making these videos for a few months now, and I've made over 50 videos, and I've referred over 50 of you guys to buy your Tesla, and I feel kind of slimy because I've been making this sound way better than it is, and that became really clear when I read this article about what people think when they see an EV. And you know, I was tricked into this, and I was guilty of trying to trick you guys into this, but it has to do with charging, because charging an electric car versus going to a gas station is an extremely different experience. And if someone tells you that charging isn't a big deal, I'm guilty of this. Don't listen to that. Like, just, you have to experience it for yourself. So let me just explain what the truth is and what it's like to charge an electric vehicle and live with one. So every day, let me just show you. So every day I come home from work and I have to take this charging cable and I push this button and I have to plug it in. And then I go inside. Like, every day I deal with this. And it doesn't stop there. Like, every night I have to plug in, and when you have a gas car, you just pull in your driveway or in your garage and you just go inside. But I literally have to plug in every night. And that's not the worst of it. Like, do you know how long it really takes to charge one of these? So I just plugged in, and if I had 5% battery, it would take about 6, maybe 7 hours for it to get to 100%. And 6 to 7 hours of time that I could be doing other things, you know. Like, granted, it is in the middle of the night all the time, and I'm sleeping, but like 6 to 7 hours. Like, seriously. This article even pointed it out. It was like, you know, I can do so many things. I could watch a movie like 4 times in the time it takes to charge one of these cars. And it's so obvious how hard it is to live with one of these cars. I know you're gonna say, but you don't even notice that, you know, you're sleeping, but it doesn't matter, you know. 6 hours, regardless if I'm conscious or not. 6 hours. It's just, I don't know, and that's a majority of my life, you know. 6 hours a night while I'm sleeping, I'm charging. And in a gas car, you don't have to do that. In a gas car, it just sits in the driveway with gas ready to go. But when I wake up in the morning, you know what else I have to do? I have to unplug the car, and then I'm ready to go. And like I said, that's every single day of my life with this car. And I haven't even started talking about road trips. So road trips, just, if I go somewhere and I have to supercharge, like every 2 to 3 hours, I gotta stop. I have to plug in for like 20 to 30 minutes. You know, I do have to go to the bathroom every once in a while, and you know, it's nice to get food, but I mean, stopping every 2 to 3 hours, you know, it's really hard. It's hard sometimes just to tell people, you know, I'm going on this road trip for the day and I might have to stop a couple times. They just look at me like, you stop to charge? Like, the more I talk about it, the more crazy it sounds. It's just, alright, so I hope you can tell from my awful acting, it's really hard. It's hard sometimes just to, that I'm not being serious at all. I did read this article, and it sparked this idea for this dumb little video. It made it perfectly clear that people's perceptions of owning an electric car and what charging's really like are just way off base, and it's completely understandable, because when you do see the charging times, they can be 8 hours, 24 hours, depending on the kind of plug you use, or if you use a supercharger. It can be very intimidating, but I hope that I can do my part, and other EV owners can eventually educate people and let them know what owning an electric vehicle is really like. So this article, when they mentioned charging times taking 8 hours, and he started listing things that they could do in that amount of time. But the problem with that is that longer charging time, when you use, say, a 240 volt outlet, 99% of the time, maybe even more than that, you're doing that while you're sleeping. So every evening when you plug in, you usually have 10 plus hours where the car's just sitting in the garage charging. So you never even worry about it when you're an owner, because you just plug in and you forget about it, and you wake up in the morning and it's ready for you to go. So for them to start listing things that you can do in 8 hours or whatever is completely disingenuous to what living with an EV truly is like. So when you do have a longer commute, or you're going on a road trip, there is the aspect of charging along the way. But with Tesla, they have their supercharging network, which makes this an awesome experience, because even in the Standard Range Plus that gets 250 miles per charge, you can drive easily from charger to charger, stop, go to the bathroom, get some food, charge for 20 to 30 minutes, and then just continue on your way. It does add time to your overall trip, but I would argue that it makes trips better, because it allows you to slow down, especially when you have a family and you have kids. You're stopping anyway. But the ability to slow down and just experience things and not be in such a hurry, I would argue that's a benefit when you have an electric car. And not to mention, it is insanely cheaper to travel on electric versus gas. But again, that's a very small percentage of the time that you're actually, what you're doing with your car. Majority of the time, most of us, we go to and from work in our car, traveling 30 miles every day. And to achieve that is really easy in an electric car. You never have to worry about charging or putting gas. So I hope this quick little silly video kind of makes sense to some of you guys if you're not familiar with an electric car or owning one. I hope it makes some people hesitate less if they're thinking about jumping into an EV or a Tesla, because these cars are fantastic. Just the driving experience, never going to a gas station, low maintenance, you name it. These cars are awesome. Just ask any of the owners. It's pretty predictable what they're going to say. So if you're new to the channel, I've made a bunch of videos on the Tesla Model 3 Standard Range Plus. I do have a referral link down below if you're in the market to purchase one. If you do have questions, please leave them in the comments. You can message me on Twitter, Instagram, or shoot me an email. All that will be in the description below. Winter is coming up, so I'm going to be doing some range tests of the Standard Range Plus. I'm going to be getting a software update that's going to give me 10 more miles of range. So we'll be able to put that to the test and see, the new 250 mile rated Standard Range Plus, how that does in the winter. And also, if you are an EV owner or Tesla owner, please leave in the comments, let people know what your experience with charging, your actual life experience, what it's like. What do you do? Is what I'm saying crazy talk? Is what I'm saying, more in line with what you experience in your everyday life? I know a lot of EV owners that I've talked to experience the same thing, but it'd be great to have a discussion down below. If you're already subscribed, thank you. If you're not, please consider it. And if you drive an EV, seriously, thank you. And if you don't, then seriously consider it. Thank you guys again, and I'll see you guys in the next video.